Jeanne Craig Sinkford, Black dentist and dental researcher. Jeanne Craig Sinkford has ventured into an arena of science traditionally reserved for men, in the US at least. When Sinkford entered the dental profession, only 2% of dentists were female. Through hard work and diligence, she rose to the top of her profession, becoming the first woman dean of a dental school in the US. Along the way, she became a respected dental researcher and an able administrator, receiving the highest accolades her peers could grant. She played an important role in increasing female enrollment in dental schools, and today, 36% of dental students are women. Yet with all her successes, she remains at heart a woman committed to helping others. As she wrote in Choose the High Road, an autobiography essay, quote, "Being a minority and a woman required a strong work ethic, a sense of morality and decency, a willingness to turn the other cheek, and a sincere motivation to help those who are less fortunate and underprivileged." Unquote. Being the only woman doing what she did was difficult at times, but she has thoroughly enjoyed her career and the opportunities it has provided her. Jeanne Craig Sinkford was born January 30th, 1933, in Washington, D.C. She was one of 4 daughters born to Richard E. Craig and Geneva Jefferson Craig. Her family was loving and supportive, which helped her work towards her goals. Her mother taught her to be her best, and not to accept that being a woman should limit her opportunities. Her parents instilled in her a responsibility to give back to others once you have achieved. As an example of how this worked in their family, when her sisters graduated from college, each would help the next in line through college. Encouragement from her family dentist interested Sinkford in dental school. She enrolled at Howard University in Washington, D.C., and graduated in 1953 with a Bachelor's of Science degree majoring in psychology and chemistry. While at Howard, she married Stanley M. Sinkford, who was then a medical student and later became a pediatrician. Reluctant to compete with her husband in medical school, she chose to enter Howard University College of Dentistry. She graduated as valedictorian with her DDS degree in 1958. She became an instructor in the dental school at Howard from 1958 to 1960, teaching crown and bridge prosthodontics. After her husband completed his military service in 1960, they moved to Chicago. Sinkford attended the dental school at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois, from which she obtained her Master's of Science degree in 1962 and PhD in physiology in 1963. Sinkford taught at Northwestern University for 1 year, while her husband studied at the University of Chicago. The Sinkfords alternated supporting one another and furthering their education. In a telephone interview with contributor Donnell O'Mathuna, conducted on May 13, 1998, Sinkford stated that having a supportive spouse has been very important to her. She sees dentistry as a perfect career for women because of its blend of aesthetics and art, and the advantage of having small hands to work delicately within the restricted area of the mouth. But dentistry is also amenable to flexible scheduling, whereby the many requirements of being a parent, spouse, and professional can be balanced satisfactorily. This has been important to the Sinkfords in raising their 2 daughters and 1 son. In 1964, Sinkford returned to Howard University as associate professor and chair of the Department of Prosthodontics. Sinkford was the first female head of such a department, the largest in the dental college. Recognition of her leadership skills led to her appointment as Associate Dean of Howard University College of Dentistry from 1967 to 1974. She was the first woman to hold such a position. In 1975, she became the Dean of the College of Dentistry, again the first woman to serve as Dean of a dental school in the U.S. Sinkford served as Dean until 1991. After 16 years as Dean, Sinkford was named Professor and Dean Emeritus of Howard University College of Dentistry. Later that year, in 1991, She became director of the Office of Women and Minority Affairs at the American Association of Dental Schools in Washington, D.C. She remains at this same organization, now Assistant Executive Director, Division of Women and Minority Affairs. As a dental educator, Sinkford's contributions have been numerous. She has served on a number of national committees examining dental education. The American Dental Association, along with the American Association of Dental Schools, commissioned her to write the background document for the Graduate Education Workshop, which received national acclaim and remains her most significant contribution to dental education. She is also author of over 70 professional publications and has written a manual for crown and bridge prosthodontics. Sinkford's abilities have led to wider recognition. Among many organizations availing of her expertise, she was asked in 1972 to join a 9-member panel investigating the infamous Tuskegee syphilis study. This project began in 1932 as an attempt to understand the progression of syphilis. However, the 400 African American men enrolled in the project went untreated for 40 years, even though penicillin was accepted as standard effective treatment by the 1940s. Sinkford had been very interested in research, but this project exposed her to the misuses of human research subjects, especially in research involving ethnic groups, children, and prisoners. She wrote the Minority Report criticizing the training of the U.S. Public Health Service researchers and the way the research was monitored and reported. Sinkford has received many awards, including induction into the International College of Dentists in 1974. She was also named a Fellow of the American College of Dentists. Foremost of all these awards, however, is the Candace Award, granted by the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. This award not only recognizes Sinkford's accomplishments, but is particularly significant because of its requirement to demonstrate a sustained commitment to serve others. Sinkford notes that it is vital to, quote, stay focused because there are so many things that can distract individuals from their goals, unquote. When she gets derailed from her goals, as inevitably happens, Sinkford regroups and rechannels her efforts to prevent the setbacks from winning. Her career reveals what can happen when someone adopts this as his or her personal philosophy. Citations are in the description.